Hersh,
Yes. Who's that, Manju?
namaste. I just joined. What were the 5 things? I'm sorry.
I'm going to tell you the first 5. I'm going to give you the 5 qualities
Okay.
of a vidyarthi, as they say. Vidyarthi. जो विद्या जिसको विद्या has become their wealth. If you want vidya to become our wealth, because in order to have a worldly vidya, sure, we need different qualities. But if you want a vidya to be our wealth, then these 5 qualities we need. Okay, so let me say this shlok first, and you can raise hands if you know this, because I'm sure some of you know this. It's very simple. Kak cheshtha bako dhyanam shwan nidra tathaiv cha alpahari grih tyagi vidyarthi panch lakshana. So now when? Nobody did? Okay. All right. Let me explain it to you then.
Probably Kamla.
हर्ष जी आपने अभी कहा कि गुरु की 5 क्वालिटी पर अभी
Not guru, शिष्य की.
शिष्य की. अब ठीक है, पहले गुरु ही कहा था. चलो सॉरी.
गुरु नहीं, शिष्य की 5 लक्षण. लक्षण means characteristics of a student, of a vidyarthi. So these are the 5 characteristics. Kak cheshtha. Kak means a crow. कौवा जिसको कहते हैं. Cheshta. You remember in the childhood you heard that story where that crow was thirsty? Thirsty crow, very common story. As a little child, I heard it. I'm sure you did too. So that crow was very thirsty, couldn't find water anywhere. Finally, he saw some water in a very narrow container. So he could not reach it. What did he do? He just picked up the pebbles and kept putting it into that jar. Can you imagine how long it must have taken him to just bring 1 pebble at a time with his beak and put it in there, and until the water rose all the way up to the top, then he drank it. इसको कहते हैं काक चेष्टा. Okay. Second one is bako dhyanam. Bak क्या होता है? Bagula. What does bagula do? Just keep on sitting still to catch a bug or fish. That kind of a stillness. Bako dhyanam. Shwan nidra. Shwan कौन होता है? Kutta. A dog. I'm sure some of you have dogs. Sleep like a dog. That means even a little bit fluctuation, a little noise, you get up. So that means get rid of the tamsikta in you. So philosophically, that's what it means. So kak cheshtha bako dhyanam shwan nidra. Then second line is alpahari. Eat less. Because when we eat too much, what happens? We become lazy again. We become sleepy. Alpahari. And 5th quality should be grih tyagi. Does that mean that you just get out of your homes? No. Detach from your worldly possessions. Grih tyagi. Because ultimately, this grihi of ours, grihi means a house also, grihi means the family members also, grihi means this body also. Ultimately, it's going to be snatched from us. Detach from it before it gets snatched. Then there's not much pain. Anything which we give up is easier. There's a joy in it rather than if somebody snatches it from us. So they say for a vidyarthi, these are the 5 lakshan. Kak cheshtha bako dhyanam swan nidra tathaivacha alphare grih tyagi vidyarthi panch lakshana. So we got to see, do we have these qualities or not? Where are we missing? If there's some kind of a miss here and there, try to fix it. Okay. So these are from the positive side. Then for a student, what becomes an obstacle? Rishi Patanjali, yes, Jyoti.
Urmil has something to say.
Yes, Urmil.
Unmute yourself, Urmil.
Unmute yourself, please.
Okay, can you repeat those 5 qualities without the too much explanation so we can just pinpoint them?
काक चेष्टा, चेष्टा होती है कर्म करने की कुशलता, and to stay with the work what you have decided, just sticking to it. काक चेष्टा. बको ध्यानम, बगुले की तरह ध्यान. श्वान निद्रा, कुत्ते की तरह सोना. अल्पहारी, moderation in eating, and this eating could be food eating, eating could be from other senses also. Moderation in life. And grihityagi, detachment from the worldly possessions. Okay, so kak cheshta, bako dhyanam, shwan nidra, alpahari, grihityagi. These are the 5 qualities based upon our scriptures.
कुत्ते का क्या कहा आपने नाम? शिल्प क्या?
श्वान निद्रा.
श्वान कैसे स्पेल करेंगे?
आधा स
जी,
व के साथ डंडा और न, स्वान.
श्वान निद्रा.
Shwan Nidra. Okay, Shwan. Shwan word comes in Gita also. At few places, okay? Shwan Nidra. We see these yogis, they learned it from the animals. That's why all the yoga postures, their names are, not all of them, but majority of them. These yogis.
हर्षी वो उसका भी काक के बाद जो था ना भगो ध्यान, वो उसका भी पता ना? How do you spell that?
बको ध्यान, ब and क, और बगुला. बको ध्यान, अगर संस्कृत में लिख रहे हो तो बको, ब क and then डंडा लगाकर ऊपर उसके ओ जैसे बनाते हैं ना, बको.
जी लास्ट वन ग्रह हारी है कि तारी है?
हाँ,
लास्ट वन ग्रह हारी है कि तारी?
नो, अल्पहारी एंड गृह त्यागी. गृह त्यागी,
त्यागी. ओके,
त्यागी, त्याग, गृह त्यागी.
yeah, understood. Thank you.
Okay, everybody got it now? Okay, now 9 obstacles which can come.
Excuse me, हर्ष जी.
हाँ जी.
बको ध्यान का जरा बता देंगे?
बको ध्यान जैसे बगला नहीं बैठा होता,
Okay.
पानी के अंदर बैठा है, and complete stillness. and ध्यान किस चीज का कर रहा है? कि कोई fish आएगी.
Right, got it.
And then I'll catch it. So that kind of a concentration.
बगुला क्या होता है? Duck?
No.
Bagula is like a, no, not a duck. Bagula.
Heron वगैरह.
Heron, right. That is the right word for it.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. You just keep sitting. We have seen those herons. Even in this country, if you have gone to Disneyland, Disney World, they have a lot of herons over there.
हमारे मिडवेस्ट क्लब में होते हैं लेक पे.
Yes, that's right.
I have seen one
By the lake,
two
or
of them.
sometimes in the shallow water, they just stay there. They stay there, they will not move. They'll catch it when they find their prey.
Sometimes they stand on one leg. We get
one leg also, that's right. One leg.
And
That's where the yogis, they learned how to meditate on one leg. Haven't you seen Rishi Durvasa, famous yogi?
हर्षी, इसने जैसे ये सारे नेचर से लिए और दत्तात्रेय ने भी 24 नेचर से लिए थे ना गुरु.
Yes, Dattatreya, that's right. One day we'll talk about Dattatreya also. Yes, those are good examples. Yes.
Hersh, alp means less.
Alp means less.
Okay.
Yes, alp.
And the dog, Shwan Nidra, you mean?
Shwan means dog.
Sleep.
Nidra means sleep.
Sleep that deeply or wake up so easy if you hear a noise? I didn't understand.
Yeah, you should be always awake.
Alert.
Even in your
sleep.
Even in the sleep, he is alert.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
And हमारा क्या होता है? We are sleeping in while up. Right? Somebody is saying it to something to us, and we say, I didn't hear it. That is, we are sleeping. We are sleepwalking, most of us. So we got to change that habit. Stay alert. Okay. So 9 impediments or obstacles also. So those are the good qualities we need to cultivate. 9 obstacles which can come in our life as a student. First one, sickness. In Sanskrit, it's called vyadhi. Sickness. Sicknesses are.
शुरू से शुरू करेंगे.
हाँ.
इंटरनेट का कनेक्शन थोड़ा इन एंड आउट हो रहा है. शुरू से शुरू करेंगे.
Oh, okay. All right. Is it my internet, Jyoti? That's why?
No. Maybe
okay.
hers.
Okay. All
Maybe.
right. So 9. You can take this as a 9 obstacles in the path of a student.
आपकी पेज नंबर क्या है?
There's no page number. This is, I haven't even started. It's like a extra dose for
this
you.
This is a pro bono. bonus.
This is before starting the heavy duty Ashtavakra. I thought I should give you a light duty information. Okay. And these 9, if you have attended Yog Darshan, you will see that these names are very familiar to you. This is from Yog Darshan, verse number 30, chapter number 1. And Rishi Patanjali called them Antaray. So the very first obstacle is Vyadhi, sickness. So imbalances among the various constituents of the body and mind. That's called Vyadhi. Okay. Sometimes we are mentally sick too, not just physically sick. Whenever there's an imbalance, you have to watch for that. Whatever it takes, stay healthy. The second one is called Satyan. This is in English we call it disinclination. Why? Because of the habitual procrastination. We'll start it tomorrow. We'll start it when we get old. Okay? General lack of enthusiasm for practice is called Satyan. You know, enthusiasm, there's a lot of enthusiasm to do other things, but for the practice, there's always a procrastination. Aaj nahi. Okay? Third one, doubt, sanshay. Because mind vacillates between the trust and mistrust. What has been taught, sometimes we believe in it, sometimes we don't. Lack of faith in the efficacy of our practice. Lack of conviction regarding the methods our teachers have given. So opposite of faith is
this
sanshay. Yes, Tripat. So first one was Vyadhi, second one Satyan, third one is sanshay, doubt. Doubt. So when we don't have a faith, we have a doubt. Fourth one, pramad, carelessness or negligence. Negligence in giving full attention to practice. And what happens then? Mistakes are made. Mistakes and omissions undermine the efficacy of our practice. Okay, so we got to be alert. Like that, bagula. Then fifth one is alasya, sloth.
Hershi 4-1 wala repeat karoge? Mistakes undermine?
Yeah. So negligence is just like a mistakes and omissions. Part of the practice, you just don't even do it. You omit it. So mistakes and omissions undermine the efficacy of our practice. So its problem is not in the practice. Problem is in our proper way of doing it. So that become obstacle. Third one is alasya, sloth. So alasya is you avoid the exertion. You just fall back on that love of comfort and mental ease. That is called alasya. Number 6 is called avirati. Avirati is being overwhelmed by the pull of the senses. That's avirati. And that's how you fail to maintain balance even in the worldly life, actually. This avirati really brings us down. The sensuality tempts us so much. Number 7 is called Bhranti Darshan, delusion. With the delusion, what happens? Errors are made in understanding and in judgments also, and primarily regarding practice. And mind accepts a mistaken point of view. That's how the judgments are distorted. Bhranti Darshan. See, Bhranti is a delusion. You don't see it right. Number
Can you
8.
repeat one more time, please?
Yeah, making errors in understanding and in judgments,
Okay.
primarily regarding practice.
Okay.
So in other words, mind accepts a mistaken point of view. See, just like we were talking about before the class, the tantric. That's a mistaken point of view. Okay? Our goal is the God. Where we came from, we got to go back there. We should never forget that. Number 8, alabdha bhumitva. Failure to gain ground. You remember there are 7 bhumis, 7 stages. One day we'll talk about those also. So if you
ये word ही नहीं समझ आया.
alabdha, alabdha. See, labdha means to acquire something. Alabdha means failure. Failure for what? Bhumiktva. Bhumiktva. So that means the ground. You are walking on this ground of evolution, the ladder of evolution, and you slip down. You cannot sustain your evolution. You are doing a lot of practice. So despite considerable practice, a level of achievement is not mastered. And normally, why? Because the prerequisites of practice need more attention. So that means for those 5 lakshans, we got to revisit them. Are we missing somewhere? Something. Failure to gain ground. And number 9 is anav sthit tawani. That in English, instability. See, the sthiti, that means you are stable. And
Can you
anav
repeat the word again, Harsh? Can you please
stability.
repeat the word again?
Anav sthit tawani. That's a big word. Anav sthit tawani. Instability. If you are, if you really want to know the Sanskrit terms, I'll write them down and send them to you. Okay. So instability means a certain level of attainment is achieved, but you could not maintain it. Because the ground is unsteady. So you attained something, but you slip back. Okay, you could do pranayam beautifully, but either you forgot or you did not stick with your practice, and then you have to learn it again.
And that's number 9.
Yeah, it's number 9. So quickly, let me go over it.
Thank you.
Sickness, disclinations, doubt, carelessness, sloth, non-abstinence, that is avirati. Okay, so we should have a control over the sensuality, but we really don't. That is avirati. Delusion, failure to gain ground, and instability. Okay, so as a student, I'm not saying that you got to memorize these words, but make sure that you understand the implication of all this, because it's a very serious study we do. And this is not just the study, but after that practice. So in order to practice, we got to have those 5 lakshans also, and we got to remember these 9 obstacles also, so that how to overcome these obstacles. Obstacles can be overcome with the help of the lakshans. Okay, those 5.
Ashti,
Yes.
what's the difference between 8 and 9 exactly? Both
Okay.
slip down.
8 is you cannot even go up. 9 is you went up, you slipped back. Okay. So that's why I said 8 is a failure to gain ground. You couldn't even go up. But in 9, you went up, you but slipped back.
Okay.
You are unstable.
Okay.
Unstable.
Ninth का word repeat कर दो.
Anav. In English, if you are writing A and AV, anav, sthit. जैसे स्थिति होता है ना, स्थित. Then tatvani. Anav, sthit, tatvani. Okay, and these you all have Yog Darshan with you, Yog Sutras book. Just go back on the chapter 1, verse number 30. You'll find all these terms over there. Maybe not explained this way clearly, because I just try to put it into very common language which I understand.
Harsh, I have a question. On ये जो आपने 9th बोला है, तो आपने कहा you went up but slipped back. That's going to happen with your physical posture or not as you age?
We are not talking about the ultimately it's not the physical.
Just जैसे आपने
it is the state of your mind.
Okay.
Okay. Physically, sure. Initially, a young body physically can stay straight. It's a healthy also. But the real journey in yoga is a journey for the mind.
Okay, good.
Okay. Body is only a container. Because in the initial stages, our mind just is so attached to the physical body. So that's why it's good to keep the physical body healthy also, and all of the qualities with it. But eventually, when we reach up to the old age, body will definitely be weak.
Yes.
But mind shouldn't be. We should have done enough practice so that no matter what happens, mind should be stable.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. So that's what it is. Yes. Anybody else?
Harshji?
Yes, Prem.
Good morning.
Good morning.
आपके पास योग दर्शन book है?
Yes, I do.
So when I come to get the other one, I can pick up this also?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
All right. Let's just start this class now. Mantra number 49. ये कहने में अतियुक्ति नहीं होगी. Did we do this one last time? We did? Okay. So number 50 then. Agni, this is from Rig Veda. अग्नि अपने तीक्ष्ण तेज द्वारा कीटनाशिनी और स्वास्थ्य प्रदायिनी है। इस द्वारा हर प्रकार की अशुद्धि का नाश होता है। अग्नि ही तगमेन शोचिषा या सद विश्वम नेत्रिनम। अग्नि अपने तीक्ष्ण तेज से सभी कीटाणुओं को नष्ट करता है। होत अग्नि के तेज से सब कीटों का नाश, रोग निवारक जान लें सूरज का प्रकाश। वर्षा में जो कीट बढ़े शरद ऋतु हो नष्ट, सूरज के तप ताप से हो दूर वह कष्ट। अन्न में होए कृमि यदि होवे दूर नमीत, धूप में वह बुखेर दो शुद्धि की ये रीत। जल में हो कुछ कृमि यदि पीने के नहीं योग, आग पे उसे उबालो तब करो उपयोग। अग्नि देव परम हितकारी, हरे जगत की सकल बीमारी। कीटाणु का करत विनाश, अंधकार में करत प्रकाश। Okay, now let's start Ashtavakra. And if you remember, we are in the middle of chapter 12. And in this chapter, King Janak is talking, and he is telling his teacher that Evam eva aham astita, I abide there. So he says, I abide in myself. So in every verse, he talks about that at the end, I abide. So we started this chapter last week. We are on verse number 6. So if nobody has a question, then I can just go directly to verse number 6. Karam anushtanam agyanat yatha uprama yatha ev uprama tatha buddhva samyak idam tattvam evam ev aham astita. So that's where we ended our class. Abstention from action is as much the outcome of ignorance as the undertaking of action. Knowing this truth fully well, thus do I indeed abide in myself. Did we look at word by word in this verse or not? I don't remember. No? Okay. So
No.
karma anushtanam, undertaking of action. Karma ka anushtan. Agyanat, from ignorance. Yatha means as, ev means even, uprama, cessation, uprama. Tatha means as. Buddhva, knowing. Samyak, fully, completely. Idam means this, tattvam, truth. Evam means thus, ev means indeed. Aham astita, I abide. So King Janak is saying that abstention from action, okay, that is uprama. Abstention from action is as much the outcome of ignorance as the undertaking of action. Knowing this truth fully well, thus do I indeed abide in myself. He's talking about the rules of do's and don'ts. So he says those rules are made for the ignorant ego. When we forget about the self, and when we think we are the doer, we are constantly churning, what should I do, what should I not? We have forgotten that we are the self who doesn't do anything. He says, I abide in myself. So what is to be done and what is not to be done are both judgments of the intellect. And intellect itself is part of the Prakriti. So in that sense, he is saying, it's not that he doesn't do the right actions, but he says, I abide in myself. And whatever needs to be done, I do it. Being in the present without judging whether it's a good action or a bad action. even the disciplines of life which were laid down by the masters, they were all essentially for us to climb up to that level where we can see more clearly that we are not the doers. And King Janak says, I am there. I have rediscovered my real self. My mind is fully calm, equanimous. Because only in the agitated mind you will see, should I do this? Should I not do it? If I do it, what will I get out of it? What will others think? So he says, I abide in myself. So knowing this truth fully, King Janak says, this is a newfound wisdom for me, and I abide in myself. Okay, so I often tell you that this scripture, if somebody studies this, the very first scripture, it will not make sense. But if you already know what Karma Sannyasi is, then it makes sense. Okay, so keeping that in mind, listen to this or study this, that it is for the higher level of students. And we all need to go there. It's only for the King Janak or only for few. But if we just make sure that we keep on adding those qualities which we talked about earlier today and stay away from those obstacles, pretty soon we'll reach where King Janak is also. Then he says, Achintyam chintyamanaha api chinta rupam bhajit aso tyaktva tat bhavanam tasmat evam ev aham astita. Achintyam, unthinkable. Chintamana, thinking. Api means even. Chinta rupam, a form of thought. See, so chintan karna kisi roop ka, a form of thought. Bhajati, resorts to, asau, one. Tyaktva, giving up. That means that. Bhavanam, thought. Tasmat, so. Evam, thus. Ev, indeed. Aham, I. Asthita, abide. Thinking on the unthinkable one. One resorts only to a form of thought. Therefore, giving up that thought, I indeed abide in myself. See, all thoughts, no matter what kind of a thought it is a thought. And ultimately that thought takes a form. So he says, I don't want to get lost in that. You remember initially in this chapter, he said, I have given up the practice at the bodily level, at the thinking level, because I have transcended all that. So from that light, he's talking about that thinking on the unthinkable one, because you really cannot think about God. Initially, sure, because we are thinking about so many things. So the Guru says, think about God. But ultimately, when we are thinking about God, also what are we thinking about? The form of God. So that's why he says, thinking on the unthinkable one resorts only to a form of one's own thought. See, that's where the problems come between the great aspirants also, when you get so focused only on one particular form or one particular mantra. Sure, initially we need it, but then you need to transcend that also. And Raja Janak, he has transcended that. Okay, so thinking on the unthinkable one resorts only to a form of one's own thought. Therefore, giving up that thought, I have given up that also. I do indeed abide in myself. So soul, the Atma, Paramatma. Because self and its light of consciousness enlivens our life. That is declared as unthinkable.
Hershji, Hershji, in this
Yes.
one he is talking that when you are talking about the roop, कि पहले जब तुमने किसी पे concentration की on some roop, it means that roop was made out of you, you are the one who made that roop. कि किस रूप को
Yes.
तुमने भजना है. That was myself made, right?
Yeah, yeah. So initially you need a roop. Roop means form. So initially you need the roop. But ultimately, see, in Yoga Darshan also Rishi Patanjali says the same thing.
Right.
Okay? Initially you need the roop, but ultimately you got to see the light between the roop.
But that
Roops are different.
Roop is made by you, that which roop is attracting you at that point, whether, right? Okay.
Exactly.
That's
Exactly.
what I wanted to. Okay.
Yeah, no, you're right. So Lord Krishna also, in Bhagavad Gita, we're going to start chapter 13 this Sunday. Over there we'll see that he says, Sukshantvat tad vigyayam. This is, you will see in the verse 15 of chapter 13. Lord Krishna says, because of its subtlety, it is so subtle. It never, you can never comprehend it. Sukshantvat tad vigyayam. Jana nahi ja sakta. You cannot understand it with the help of the mind and the intellect. You got to ultimately transcend that because it's the Sukshantvat, subtler than the subtlest.
So it means first it was a duality, and the
Yes.
next, then it became one with that.
Yes, because Brahm is everywhere, right? But we really
Mhm.
cannot see the Brahm. So that's why the Yogi Guru says, I'm going to give you a form and I'm going to give you a name. But ultimately, with the help of the practice, all those names and all the words, they just
Are gone.
are gone. But initially, we need that. We really cannot fool ourselves that I see God everywhere. I mean, sure, some people may be, but majority of the people, they cannot connect with the subtlest of the subtle with the help of their mind. Okay? So this is like a very higher plane of consciousness we need to reach to. And in the early stages of sadhana, this doesn't apply. This level of sadhana, we just spontaneously reach up to. We cannot just start our journey from here. That King Janak is saying it, so we are there too. Don't fool. We should not fool ourselves. We got to do our sadhana where we are. And that's why they say the Guru gives us a roop, Guru gives us a mantra, Guru tells us how to do the sadhana. Yes, Jyoti.
Questions by Tripat, Kim, and Niru. So I'll one at a time.
Okay, question regarding this, or can we wait towards the end, guys?
हर्षी फिर टाइम हो जाएगा. मेरे को ये क्वेश्चन जो इससे पहले पढ़ी थी ना, he's even this second, 6th and 7th पे abstention from action as much as outcome of ignorance. So he's a king. So he is still ruling. He hasn't given up his kingdom like a lot of other kings give up their kingdoms and then they walk off into the one. So Raja Janak is still ruling. So if he is giving it up on thinking and doing, how is he going to wrap around being able to take care of the activities of a king along with all this abstination from thinking and from doing?
Yeah, not only the Janak, didn't Lord Krishna do that? This is a very high level of achievement that while doing, you stay connected with the non-doer in you. This is a very high level. They say it's easier to give up your home and your responsibilities and then do the sadhana. But doing the sadhana sadhana and reaching up to this level while doing a very high level of duties and responsibilities too. I lived with a guru of that caliber. I can say it proudly that my Guruji was like that. Taking care of so many people, including the children and the wife and the disciples, writing books, doing his job. And the job was also a very demanding job, taking care of so many professors and so many other workers over there, like office people. But he stayed just like
So the main
we are
aim
learning
here
over
would be
here.
total
The
detachment, right?
So we can do that. We can do that. So we got to just practice. First, we practice morning and evening. That's why they call it you do the meditation, but a very inactive meditation. Inactive means your body is inactive and you are just doing the meditation, sitting down. Then later on, your inactive meditation translates into active meditation. You are just doing all the duties, but you are still connected. And looks like King Janak was at that level. He could handle his kingdom, he could handle his staff, he could handle his queens also without getting his eye away from himself. So practice, okay? So we got to have the faith. Again, going back to that faith. No sanshaya. Sure, we need to do our own homework, but faith should be there. And that's why these examples are in front of us. Whether today's examples or examples from the history. It is doable, but the doing we have to do. Our sadhana only we can do it. Okay? So the other people, Kim has a question, and can it wait, Kim? If it can wait, because Tripat has to go back to work. That's why she's saying
Sure, I can wait. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, at the end we'll definitely talk about it, but I want to finish some of these verses over here. So let's look at the last verse of this chapter. Evam eva kritam yena kritartha bhavet sa aso. Evam sabhavaya sa aso kritartha bhavet. Evam means thus. Ev means even. Kritam, accomplished. See, krit means karna, right? So kritam, accomplished. Yen, by whom? Kritartha, fulfilled. Bhavet becomes sa asau. That means he, the person who's doing it, he. Ev means indeed, evam swabhava, by such nature. Ya means who, sa asau, he, kritartha, fulfills himself, bhavet becomes. So blessed is the person who has accomplished this. So this is a fulfillment of life. This is a goal of our life. So that's why even King Janak is saying is, blessed is the person who has accomplished this. Blessed is he who thus fulfills himself by his nature divine. So divine Swabhav. He's talking about the real Swabhav. See, right now our Swabhav is according to this Tamsikta, Rajsikta, Satvikta, it just keeps on fluctuating between these three. With the help of the sadhana, we got to go back to our original Swabhav, which is the Swabhav of our Atma. So he says that kind of a person is blessed. So he is almost tapping on his own back that I have done a good job. Because in his ecstasy of his infinite satisfaction, he is talking. It's not that he's bragging about himself. So he is at that level. It's almost like a Jivan Mukta person. See, there is a Videha Mukta, there is a Jivan Mukta. There are so many different terms we learn. And they all have at the end Mukta. Mukta means free. Freedom from these. First, it's a lower temptations. That's a little higher temptation. And there's no temptation. So, Videha Mukta, if you want to know, Dehapat anantram mukti videha mukti. The scriptures talk like that. Okay, dehapat anantram mukti videha mukti. The liberation after the fall of the body is known as videha mukti. Fall of the body means no attachment to this body. It's not a death of the body, but it's risen above the body. This body is so what? It's made of the 5 elements. Whether it's a body of a Ashtavakra which had 8 little twists in it, or body of a beautiful King Janak, it's just still a body made out of those elements. So he says the liberation after the fall of the body is known as Videha Mukti. Okay, and the experience of the higher in him became so spontaneous, so effortless, and so natural. That's why he used the word evam swabhavam. Okay, and in the initial stages, you need to make an effort. For us to get out of the tamsikta to the rajsikta, it does take effort. From a rajsikta to the satvikta, more effort. But from the satvikta to this level, that becomes spontaneous, effortless. Okay. See, when we want to hurt somebody, we want to gossip, when we want to put somebody else down, what is that? Tamsikta. Rajsikta is, no, I want to do my duties. I don't want to put anybody else down. I want to work hard. I want to pay my own bills. I want to take care of my family. That's a Rajsikta. But later on, I want to do some selfless service. I want to live for others also. That is a Satvikta. While living predominantly in the Satvikta, after some time, with the divine help, you get a push above that, where you see only Atma and nothing but Atma. And Raja Janak is at that level. If you read about Raja Janak, his whole life was a yogi's life. When Parshuram came there to give that Shiv Dhanush to him, what did he do? He was sitting inside. When he heard that Parshuram has come, he ran outside without even putting any shoes on. He was a great king, but he had love for those saintly people so much. He was a Vishnu Bhagat, but in his kingdom there were so many Shiva temples also. He saw God, the same God, no matter which form. And that's why Parshuram decided to give that Shiv Dhanush, which later on you all know the story about Ram and Sita's swambar because of that. Because he saw the love, he saw that equanimity, he saw that the qualities of a yogi in him. So he gave that Dhanush, which belonged to the Lord of Yoga, to King Janak. Okay, so he had that experience of the higher in him by the time. So that's why he's saying in this verse, he says, he is verily a God living among us. Evam sabhava yas asau kritartha bhavet. He alone is the blessed one. He alone is the blessed one. This is where we need to rise up to. Okay. Then next chapter also spoken by King Janak. That is chapter 13. He says, in the pure infinite consciousness, because he has already told us this earlier, you are neither a doer, So there's neither an action nor an inaction by you. Neither joy nor sorrow. Neither good nor bad. That means you have risen above the dualities. So at the all levels of your personality, you are totally detached. You are doing it, but you are still not doing it. Because normally we see a typical picture of a person, a yogi, a sadhu, orange clothes with a little water pot in the hand and a stick. But King Janak doesn't have that kind of a picture. He is a king living in a palace, doing all those duties, but internally he is a yogi. Sometimes outwardly you could look like a saint and a yogi, but internally you may not be. These days we have seen many stories of those kind of yogis too. So-called yogis, I should say, not real yogis. So because voluntarily we can accept the poverty, but we can still be attached to this worldly life. And attachment is always internal. So King Janak looks like he seems to remember the stinging words which earlier spoken by his teacher. So that's why we see it again and again. He talks about what the real renouncement is. Okay. So King Janak says, Akinchan bhavam swasthyam kopintve api durlabhavam tyag adane vihai asmat aham ase yatha sukham. Akinchan bhavam, born of the consciousness that nothing else exists. Akinchan. Swasthyam. Swasthyam over here means tranquility. Kopintave, in the state of wearing just a loin cloth. Loin cloth is what? Just a little cloth to cover your privates. That's all. Api means even, durlabham means rare. Tyag adane, ideas of renunciation and acceptance. Vihai, giving up. Asmat, therefore. Aham, I, ase, live. Yatha sukham, true happiness. So King Janak is saying the tranquility which is born of the awareness that there is nothing else but the self is rare. Durlabhavam is rare. Even for one who wears just a loin cloth. Therefore, giving up the ideas of renunciation and acceptance, I live in true happiness. So what he's saying, that physical renunciation people can do, but they can still be attached. Sometimes it just, after letting go of the physical pleasures, a person can have bigger ego, that I have given up. So in that sense, he is saying the tranquility which is born of the awareness that there is nothing else but the self. He says, with my sadhana, I have reached up to that, where I am aware of only the self. Because it is very rare, even for one who wears just a loin cloth. So therefore, giving up the ideas of renunciation and acceptance. And these are the terms used, or close to this idea was in the last chapter. Krit, akrit. So a mere relinquishment of our possessions is not a true dispassion. Okay. So we should always remember that it's not that we should get more and more attached, buy more and more, have more and more. But ultimately it has to go away from our mind. So, akinchan bhavan. Nothing, here is nothing but the self. This is the key word over here. Akinchan bhavan. Nothing else have ever been born as the universe is indeed there. So to renounce or to accept, there must be the still lingering shades of one's individualized ego that I have relinquished. Okay, so that's why Janak is saying, giving up the ideas of renunciation and acceptance, I live in a true happiness. This happiness is not just a fleeting happiness. True happiness, he says, it's coming from this. Okay. See, ultimate lesson we need to learn from the scriptures is to go to that state of consciousness which is beyond the mind, and beyond the intellect also. Because mind and the intellect, they are recognizing and experiencing the outer world. And when we go beyond that mind and intellect, only then we can experience something which is called self, okay? The infinitude. This summer we were supposed to do a scripture during our retreat, which we are not doing it this year, but hopefully next year, or we'll see if we can do it online. I was planning on going through the Mandukya Upanishad. We have never done that Upanishad, Mandukya Upanishad. Mandukya Upanishad has this kind of a philosophical exposition. And one of the verse over there is, Yathana jayate kinchit jaimanam smantata. From which nothing is in reality born, though it appears to have manifested in endless forms. So this is the kind of a language that Seer in that Upanishad speaks, which we are reading over here by Jana. So like a higher level, more subtle. Okay, so let's stop it here. And this is also called Ajatvad. That's another term. If you have studied some philosophy, Ajatvad, that's called a non-origination. Even though we see it's created, but it's not non-origin. So Ajatvad, theory of non-origination. That is a doctrine that is inherent in the Upanishads. Okay? So a lot of Upanishads, they talk like that. A very subtle suggestion in these scriptures, and especially in this particular scripture, we see it right now.
Harshi, can I ask a question here?
Yeah, now you can. I think I have talked enough. I should give you guys a chance to talk.
When he says that the idea of renunciation presupposes that there is still some egoism left. So, but earlier, before he reached that stage, he must have renounced at that stage. But now he is at a stage where he can say that.
Yes.
But initially, when he would have gone through the through his sadhana,
yes,
he had to renounce, even though it created egoism, or it presupposes that you still have an ego. Because you have an ego, only then you can say I renounced, right?
Yes.
So, but somewhere he did renounce with that, but he reached beyond that now.
Yes, yes, you are right. Right. Because we cannot just superficially imagine that we're going to reach there. We got to go through the stages, definitely. That's why those, always remember, while you're remembering the characteristics of a student and the obstacles which can come, at the same time, we should always remember those 7 stages of improvement also, Saptabhumi. So if you don't know, I can just quickly go over those next time when we start the class. Okay, so because some students have been with me for so long, so but it's always good to hear it again and again too. So because these terms also, they're very fascinating to me. The terms, when we remember them, the mind just sticks to it so beautifully. Then you want to practice it.
Yeah.
Okay. So next week, I'll try to remember to start this class especially, because other classes are still like a yesterday's class. It's a lot of elementary messages in there. The teachings which you know, most of it you already know, but still it's good to hear it again. But this class, I would say, the Thursday class, the teachings are at a little higher level or a subtle level. So that's why I'll go over those 7 stages next week. Okay.
हर्ष आपने क्या वर्ड बोला है? Is it उजातवाद?
No, ajat.
Ajat. Okay.
Ajat. Non-origination. Jat means something has originated.
Okay.
Ajatwad says nothing is there. I see only Brahma. What are you talking about the forms? All I see is just God, God, nothing else but God. But still doing everything. See, this is the beauty of these scriptures. King Janak is a very fair, very hardworking, accomplished king.
Yeah.
But still seeing God, how can he do it? How could he really act and still be a karta?
Yeah.
Must be possible, right?
Yeah. पता नहीं कितने
Somebody
जन्मों की
somebody else
तपस्या
had a question too earlier.
उनके कितने जन्मों की तपस्या होगी, पता नहीं कितनी
Yeah.
तपस्या होगी.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, tapasya, sadhana.
Yeah.
But still, you remember, he had a guru. He had the priests also in his darbar. But still, he looked for a yogi guru. And he encouraged the dialogues in his kingdom. He encouraged all kinds of yajnas in his kingdom. There were a lot of ashrams in his kingdom. See, that's where Vishwamitraji, when he brought Ram and Lakshman, they stayed in the ashram in the outskirts of Mithila. There were so many ashrams, so those saintly people, they felt so comfortable in the kingdom of Mithila. So he could do all this and the sadhana at the same time. Why can't we do it? We should do that too. And I always say, especially these days, we should really intensify our sadhana this year. This 2020 should be a blessing for us. Instead of thinking, oh, I cannot go out, I cannot eat out, I cannot do the vacation, I cannot meet people, no parties. Think that, hey, God has given me the chance to intensify my sadhana this year. Thank you, God. Thank you. Yes, Jyoti. Jyoti, unmute yourself, please.
Kim and Niru has a question before we end the class.
Who asked first? Kim or Niru?
Niru.
Kim, go ahead.
Okay, Kim.
Thank you. So when we were talking about 12.7,
get a little closer. Can't hear you, Kim.
I'm sorry. When we were talking about 12.7, Manju Gupta said initially it's a duality, then it becomes one. And Hershji said yes, but what does that mean?
That means initial stages, if a person is still starting out, the duality they'll feel. Duality means day and night. God in the form. Other places we don't see God. Good and bad. I want to do good actions. I want to stay away from the bad actions. I don't want to hurt anybody. So those kind of things, duality is there. But eventually what happens when you rise above? You automatically, you are doing good. That doesn't mean that you're going to start doing bad deeds. But that just becomes your nature.
I see. So duality
almost like when you started learning a language, first you have to pay attention. Am I speaking correctly or not? Then later on it becomes your nature. You're always speaking correctly. So in order to speak incorrectly, you'll have to make an effort. So this is what happens.
Excuse me, Hershji, at that time we were talking about that self-made roop of the God. We are at that time concentrating on it and meditating on it, and later on when we just kind of done with that, then we are one with our soul or whatever. At that time we don't need that roop of the God we created for ourselves. I think at that point, that's what the duality and non-duality was we were talking about.
So duality means the
duality normally
form
means
versus
duality
the-
means two. That's what duality means.
हर्षी, मेरा क्वेश्चन भी इसी के रिगार्डिंग था कि जैसे गीता में चैप्टर 12 में उन्होंने अर्जुन ने पूछा था
English
please. Sorry. Arjun asked in chapter 12 of Gita that is the manifested form, the people who pray to manifested form are better, or the people who pray to unmanifested form. So God said that we have to start with manifested form. So this is the advanced stage.
This is like after doing the sadhana, King Janak has reached to that place where it's all one.
But now he is trying to go beyond that. Okay.
Kim, what is your what are your thoughts now?
Oh, I was just trying to understand the if the duality was referring to the form of God versus the truth.
See, in essence, it's only one. Nothing but God everywhere. But since we have come into a form, we have been trained to focus only on the forms. Our eyes, because these eyes can see only the material form. We don't see the light behind the form. So we got to do the sadhana so that we see the light.
Okay? So Hersh, then you always use the example of the snake and the rope, and the snake is false and the rope is real. But does this mean that the rope is also false and only Brahm is real?
Yes, that's right. Okay, because we have created this superimpositions on Brahm. Even though it's Brahma, but we have superimposed. So in that example, if you want to use snake and rope, it's only the rope. And we have created many snakes on it. There's nothing but the rope. Okay?
But the rope is also false.
No, the rope is wrong. Don't look at the rope as a rope. Take your mind that this Brahm, we are calling it a rope.
Brahm, yes.
Okay. We have superimposed everything on the Brahm. Or just another example I often use, it's like when we were studying in school colleges, they used to have we call it a blackboard. In this country, when I came, we saw green boards also. So it's a board, writing board, if you want to call it. Different teachers will come and write different things on it. The board is the same. Right? English teacher will come write in English. Hindi teacher will come write with Hindi. Math teacher will come write on the numbers on it. But it's just a board. The same thing, it's a big board. And that's why it's called a substratum. On the substratum, everything has been superimposed.
So, Hershey, last time when you talked about the substratum, you said Dharma is the substratum of life.
Yes.
What does that mean?
I'm going to talk about Dharma because right now, if I give you any definition of Dharma, you're going to just not get it. Because Dharma is it's not just a word, it's not a sentence, it's not a paragraph, it's a book. That's what Dharma is. And I'm going to go over that book next Wednesday. Okay. I mean, still in 1 hour, I'll try to finish the whole book. So then you'll understand that Dharma. Because dharma word is the most, just like a karma and the dharma. These two words are the most misunderstood words, even among the scholars. Because when I read different articles here and there, I see people are lost. Okay, and I'm not saying it from it's not the ego which is talking, that I know it and they don't. I'm sure they know it too, but somehow there needs to be more clarification on this word dharma among the scholars like you. Okay, so we'll talk about it. Next Wednesday topic is that.
Thank you.
हर्ष जी जो जनक को कहते थे वैदे.
Videha. Videha means that dropped the body.
Yeah.
Master of the body. No attachment to the body. Body means the physicality. So he's called a Vidhe. Vidhe is the very, after Karam Yogi, you become a Videha. After Vidhe, next level of achievement is a Prakriti Laya.
Okay.
Okay, so Prakriti, beyond your body also, you have become a master of it. Then after that becomes Brahmalina. Okay, so
1141.
there's different terminology is used. Brahmalina means you just don't even have a body, you are just become one with Brahma. That's it.
Karam Yogi, Vedehi, and
Karam Yoga, Videha, Prakriti Laya, and then Brahmalina. Okay? Because King Janak, he does have a body right now. He is taking care of it without getting attached to it.
I couldn't understand why he is so learned and unattached to his body and everything. He has gained, what you say, degrees from his, attached to his name. Even then he is like trying to achieve.
Because there's a more to be achieved.
Yeah, but wo aa gaya na Prakriti Lay and Brahmalin.
Prakriti Lay and then Brahmalin.
I have something to say.
Sure.
Maybe I'm thinking in his lower degrees, when he was in the lower degree, that's when Ashtavakra dad had to go take Jat Samadhi in his court.
Yes.
Those were under Janak's court, the rules that whoever loses the philosophical discussion takes a Jat Samadhi. I am thinking that was when maybe Janak was in his maybe first degree. He didn't gain the other degrees.
Exactly. Exactly, because there were so many, anybody who was a loser.
Yeah.
So can you imagine how many scholars must have gone?
Exactly.
That was almost like you're right.
Almost like killing people with no rhyme or reason, basically.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that was under his rule, in his rule.
Under his rule, yeah, even though the other head priest was doing it, but it was under the rule of...
But he was the king of that court.
He was the king. He should have stopped it, but later on he stopped it then.
I'm sure he must have, because I'm thinking that's when he got the other degrees and he must have figured out.
Yeah.
Hershey, Neeru says she can sing a small bhajan.
Oh, okay, Neeru, that's fine. Yeah, I asked Manny to have a chanting ready, but maybe we can use that tomorrow, Manny, okay? So Jyoti, do send me a message, that reminder for that 7 stages of achievement for next week, and a talk on dharma.
Okay.
I'll remember it, but still I think it's a good idea to have a little reminder. Okay, all right. So Neeru, you want to sing?
Hanji.
Please do.
Jai Shri Krishna.
Jai Shri.
तेरे पूजन को भगवान बना मन मंदिर आलीशा. तेरे पूजन को भगवान बना मन मंदिर आलीशा. किसने जानी तेरी माया, किसने भेद तिहारा पाया. किसने जानी तेरी माया, किसने भेद तिहारा पाया. हारे ऋषि मुनि कर ध्यान, बना मन मंदिर आलीशान। तेरे पूजन को भगवान, बना मन मंदिर आलीशान। तू ही जल में, तू ही थल में, तू ही मन में, तू ही बन में। तू ही जल में, तू ही थल में, तू ही मन में, तू ही वन में। तेरा रूप अनूप महान, बना मन मंदिर आलीशान। तेरे पूजन को भगवान, बना मन मंदिर आलीशान। तू हर गुल में, तू बुलबुल में, तू हर डाल के हर पातन में। तू हर गुल में, तू बुलबुल में, तू हर डाल के हर पातन में। तू हर दिल में मूर्तिमान, बना मन मंदिर आलीशान। तेरे पूजन को भगवान, बना मन मंदिर आलीशान। तूने राजा रंक बनाए, तूने भिक्षक राज बिठाए। तूने राजा रंक बनाए, तूने भिक्षुक राज बिठाए। तेरी लीला अजब महान, बना मन मंदिर आलीशान। तेरे पूजन को भगवान, बना मन मंदिर आलीशान। झूठे जग की झूठी माया, मूर्ख इसमें क्यों भरमाया। झूठे जग की झूठी माया, मूर्ख इसमें क्यों भरमाया। कर जीवन का कुछ कल्याण, बना मन मंदिर आलीशान। कर जीवन का कुछ कल्याण, बना मन मंदिर आलीशान। तेरे पूजन को भगवान, बना मन मंदिर आलीशान। जय श्री कृष्ण।
Thank you very much, Neeru. Beautiful. Beautiful.
Thank you.
Okay, Jyoti, unmute everybody. So if anybody has any question, comment. So Urmil, you want us to wear blue
Red,
and
white,
white?
blue.
Red, blue and white, or blue and white will do?
Unmute.
Unmute yourself. Unmute yourself.
I unmuted everybody, but those who have
Urmil, you
muted
got to
themselves
unmute
have to
yourself.
mute
Only then we can
themselves.
hear what you're saying.
Hershey, I'll see you tomorrow.
Oh, you are coming? Oh, you are coming tomorrow?
Yeah, I'll see you tomorrow.
All right.
As long as you wear red or blue or white.
Okay, all right, that's fine. Yeah, I don't have red, white, and blue, but I can wear